Welcome back. I'm Blaise Hope. I'm here at the World Economic Forum with Amanda, with Damono, the founder of We the Teachers, and we're talking about education, but also the big underlining factor, especially here at the forum and coming up to this, has been talent. And there's a large young population, but how do you turn that into a talent pool for the country to draw on?
Yeah. One interesting fact about talent pool and employment in Indonesia is that underemployment rate is at 34%. Now, what does this mean? This means that people who have a certain capacity, they're not at the job where their maximum capacity can be realized, right? Or, you have certain people who are trained in forestry, but they're not filling jobs in the field. They go to banks or they go to engineering or other sorts of jobs. Now, this is dangerous in the long term because it puts a ceiling towards personal and professional growth. Because then you stay comfortable in that zone, and then you just don't push yourself. You don't put high expectations on yourself and on the job market. So that's where we can definitely work with the schoolings, with the vocational skills that can be transferred through not really a long institution, long-term schools, but on-the-job skills that can be used directly on the job.
So, do you advocate apprenticeships?
For sure, yes. Being immersed directly to the job is important, but also having the basic skills, yeah. And skills here, not just technical, but also the soft skills, like how do you reply emails? How do you talk to people? Those are also missing, I think, within the human resources.
If you go into any bookstore here, there's a massive, always a massive section, I guess this is fairly common, about sort of self-help, self-business. Is that something that you attempt to address as an organization?
Yes.
This sort of self-efficacy and
Yes.
self-belief?
Firstly, I envy other countries for having so many more bookstores than Indonesia. It's very hard to get books over here, but with self-help, that's one thing. With bureaucracy, one of the complaints or one of the challenges with Indonesia is that our bureaucracy gets in the way of many things. I see bureaucracy comes back to one issue of people not wanting to take responsibility of what they do, and that's because they don't believe that they're capable of making the responsibility of, if they come into a risk or a danger, they could manage through it, that they could collaborate with other people to get through things, that decisions need to be made. So that comes to your point about self-efficacy. That's one of my favorite words, actually, because that implies really authority of self, that we are capable, that we can do something about this status quo. And imagine if we go to rural villages and we talk about self-efficacy and we successfully nurture this in the children, then they will be able to have fresher perspectives on things surrounding them, because the challenges that they face every day is actually really sad. Parents just working long hours to provide food at the table. They're living in a quarter just like that. They might not play, they don't have access to what we have right now in the forum, for instance. So it can be a saturating situation, but then with self-efficacy, I think that can shed some lights.
When you talk about trying to bring in self-belief, trying to bring in education, what role do you think religion can play in the organization, if any at all?
Yes. Religious affairs, I think, has been a big part of Indonesia because we all declare our religion, we're built on certain religious values. I see religion more as providing strong core foundations of how you think. I believe that our religions teach good things. It teaches tolerance, for instance, it teaches respect for other people. And even those values are quite missing to some extent, especially in urban spots in the country. Now, if we go back to religion, then we can go back to those values without really being extreme about it, because that's something dangerous as well when you get really too hyped about something, right? I mean, part of the forum is learning from other sectors, like you link education and employment, you link technology and health issues, you link environment and policy making. So everything has to be connected and interdisciplinary, and this is where our religion can be part of that, to strengthening really the core of our nation's children.
Do you see education as the key to most of Indonesia's current issues?
Definitely, yeah. With education, I mean, you have most of the young generation on your hand. You can do anything about with them. So it's imperative what we are going to deliver to them is really not a small thing. And as I was saying at the panel, the faith in schooling is really high. You talk to many parents and they still want to put their kids through college. Why? To get a diploma, to get a job. So the faith is there. We need to leverage on education to help parents to stay persistent, so the kids could stay in school, they could actually graduate, they could have some sense of confidence. Then they could contribute more productively to our country's politics, social and economy condition.
What do you need from the government for that to happen?
What do I need from the government? Support, of course, because the government has an authority, really. You say A and then everybody will really respect you and follow you. So just championing these movements to bring it to the grassroots level, because what we do, I think, civil society, we bring all the big ideas to the ground level. We make it tangible, we make it work, and we help implement it in some way. But then the scaling up, that requires some kind of governmental power or authority to all right, this is good, I trust you, trust is also important, and we're going to scale it up to benefit the larger Indonesian population.
Is it just a case of increasing funding, or are there bureaucratic legal obstacles?
I would say it's more on legal obstacles. As Pak Budi was mentioning earlier, a big portion of our GDP is contributed from the private sector. So private sectors could play more roles in terms of funding. But with the government is really the authority and the trust on certain people with good ideas. There are so many good ideas here, but who's the executor, right? Who's actually doing things well and effectively, that you have to be selective. And once you are selective, then you keep the talent pool. So we work together for really a better Indonesia.
Well, what can the private sector do to develop the talent pool here?
Yes, so apprenticeship is probably one thing. We have a lot of great leaders here. I heard yesterday that great leaders need to be comfortable in their own skin to share their knowledge to the younger ones. So providing opportunity for them to shadow these leaders, for instance, to learn really how things work in the office space. How is it in the job market? How is this as you go through your day? It's not just you learning about all this physics rules, or really when you coach, it's not just the programming side, but there's other things at work that needs to be learned as well.
So would you see possibly in the future you would bring teachers together to share skills and then use them maybe to select students and post those students to companies they have a relationship with?
Probably, but that's like what you were mentioning was very linear relationship. I like to see teachers more as actually honing them into becoming an individual rather than an employee or an economically productive citizen. So yes, I mean distribution in terms of jobs, allocations, that's one thing, but also really just shaping one whole individual that is Indonesian in and out, in a sense that they have the values, but at the same time have the skills. I mean, ASEAN Economic Community, our region is getting more connected, our world is getting more connected, and Indonesia needs to be ready. We have 250 million people on our hands.
Is there something that you want to get out of the next couple of days here for We the Teachers?
I think it's really getting advices from people on how to go about, because a lot of things that happen within the forum is exchange of really brilliant ideas, and this is utopia, I would say, in a sense that this only happens for a few days, and these are luxuries for all of us who are here. And it's good that the media is really reporting on what's going on in the forum, but just getting insights that I might miss or that other people's experiences have contributed. Because I was talking earlier to Shop how you can't buy experience. We're all young people here. I'm young people. I have other 29 fellow global shapers here, and we can definitely learn from the experiences that all other people, all other participants have have learned.
Right, great. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of the forum.
Thank you.
That's it from me for now. We're going to go off to lunch, and then I'll be back very soon. Over to you, Ben.